Your mom's a beautiful single woman, and I'm sure she gets hit on a lot. I'm just another dude in a wide sea of dudes.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise swearsies. It's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead, look it up if you want. I do appreciate you. Today we are getting into some more of them good old Neckbeard stories. It's 3 parts. I'm going to try and pack it all into one video. It should work out fine, because the parts are pretty short, but I don't know. I guess it depends how much I ramble, so I'll try not to ramble too much in the intro. Let's go ahead and jump on into this thing. Tales from the Neckbeard Zone. Smiley, Part 1. I sent that to Smiley Face. Love smiley faces. So, being a nerd in the late 2000s, I met many neckbeards. As a fan of cryptozoology, I decided that I would document a few of them. Oh, it's a collection of neckbeards. If you hate one, just wait around. You might hate the next one even more. A joker's wife, or how a neckbeard tried to become my stepdad. I mean, if we're thinking about stepdaddery, he probably made it a little further in than he should have. Is your mom good? Like, she can't see the signs or what? Show her my YouTube videos. Thanks so much. Cast list very brief. Mom, Dad, OP, and our neckbeard, Smiley. So I was a 16-year-old male high school student at the time. It was a quiet Sunday, and we had just left church. Happy little nuclear church-going family. I love to see it. But yeah, your dad is there, so how did the neckbeard... I guess you just tried to move it on your mom? I hope your dad fights him, honestly. Maybe it doesn't need to go that far. Maybe just a fine verbal joust or two. My dad ran home to go let the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? My mother and I went to Green Store to pick up our after-church feast. I don't know what Green Store is or if it's an actual store, so okay. This was late 2000s, back when Green Store subs were the greatest food on earth. Well, now I feel like I'm really missing out on something because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Getting a little jealous here. The meat was piled 4 feet thick. We were waiting in line and I heard, "Batman!" I turned around and there stood Smiley. He was around 5'8" with an average frame, dark red hair, a massive red Viking beard, and his Green Store uniform. He looked both 45 and 12 all at the same time. So like a baby face, but just a bloated, skinny, fat alcoholic body. Smiley was doing an impression of the Mark Hamill Joker. I was wearing a Batman t-shirt and basketball shorts as I dressed down after church. Dress clothes in the South during August. Yeah, that's a no-go. Oh, come on, just buy some short-sleeve dress shirts. I like running around in a tie after church. Makes me feel fancy 1 day a week. More like 1 day a month recently. But anyway, my mother looked at him and said, "What did you say to my son?" I said, "It's fine, Mom. It's from that Batman cartoon that I used to watch." A little background on my mother. She was a horse girl and a cheerleader. She married my dad, who was a classically trained musician and a massive nerd. My mother calls Chewie that Ewok guy. He's not an Ewok, Mom. He's a Wookiee. Ewoks live on the planet Endor, and Wookiees are from Kashyyyk. They're 2 different races. Calm down, son. It's not that serious.
Calm down, son. It's just a drawing, not the real thing.
My mom is supportive of our nerd lifestyle, but yeah, she really knows nothing about it. Yeah, it's kind of like my wife. I'm into all types of nerd shit, and she's just like, that's nice. Men are constantly hitting on my mother, and she never notices. My parents have one of the strongest and most beautiful marriages I have ever seen. I hope to find that one day. My mother is the most patient human being in history. You will find it one day, OP. Just wait for the right one. Bide your time. My relationship with my wife is super idyllic, but yeah, she is not a patient woman at all. Then again, I'm not a patient man, so Maybe everything is equals pequals. Anyway, OP's mom says, oh, okay. My mom was wearing a sundress with her Cherokee jewelry, very boho. My mom was 35 and has been for a while. You gotta put her on blast like that. She's native, 5'5", and has a tiny frame. She looks ageless and has green eyes. Smiley was staring at my mother. He says, oh, is this your girlfriend? To me. And of course, this is a line that creepy guys use on my mother all the time. OP just so beaten down, downtrodden, doesn't even have the energy to get mad at it anymore. He's just like, this is a thing that happens every time we go somewhere. Cheesy lines like this make me want to shower with steel wool and gasoline. Yeah, that'll get the stickiness off, I guess. My mother gave him her stare into your soul look that she gave her 2 children every time that we were bad, and it had no effect. I don't think he's even socially aware enough to know the intent. He's like, she's looking at me. That's good, right? Like, dude, she's looking at you like she wants to kill you. How are you possibly this oblivious? Smiley just says, I like your Navajo jewelry. My grandma had some like that. My mom said, okay. It's Cherokee. Smiley, are you sure? Mom, it was a Christmas gift from my cousin who makes it and sells it to tourists, so yeah, I'm pretty sure. Where's your dad at this point? This is about what I'd like to chime in and be like, hey, how about you get back there and make my sandwich, pastry puff? I guess he's just enjoying watching her take care of business. Smiley says, oh, well, do you want to see the new Batman movie with me? I love kids and... Smiley! Dude, your break's been over for like 5 minutes. We are slammed, yelled the deli manager. There, saved by the bell. He really thought that was an in? Your kid's wearing a Batman shirt, let me take you to the movies? Don't bring your husband, though. It's just gonna be me and you and Batman and Joker. Double date. So Smiley relieved the sandwich artist that was tending to our line. He stared right at us as the line shrank, smiling right at my mother every time he glanced up. At a certain point, Dad does need to say something. I suggest, hey, limp dick, keep your eyes on the pickles. Nobody's ever sure how to respond. The manager was tending to the other line. When we were the second people in line, my mother switched us to the manager's line, who had 4 people. Well advised. Smiley finished up with his customer and called us over, ignoring the other customers, and we ignored him. Smiley said, hey you! Hey you! Pretty lady in the sundress! I snapped, bro! That's my mother. She is married. Now chill the fuck out. Smiley gave me a huge smile and a Hamill Joker cackle. OP, bro, I hate to say that your dad ain't worth a goddamn, but he hasn't had one line this entire time. His son has to step up to protect his wife? How does he not just die of shame in that very moment? I know I would. Finally, the manager, who was admittedly very busy, noticed what was happening. Manager glared at Smiley. Bro, I'm not gonna tell you again. Cut the Batman crap and leave people alone, or you can go home. Smiley went to protest, and the manager cut him off again. One more word, man. One more word. We got our food and thankfully got to leave. Are you guys sure you don't want to eat it here? You can take a seat, I'll clear a space for you. And then he wipes his chin. Meanwhile, Dad's just over there like, nacho ranch or cool cheese?
I'll have... No. Oh, maybe...
Are you planning on ordering today, sir?
Like, dude, somebody's making your wife clearly uncomfortable. Hello? But yeah, whatever. I'm glad you got to leave. This whole situation happened in about 20 minutes. We got into the car. My mother just looked at me and asked, what just happened? I shook my head. We had encountered our first Neckbeard and lived, but we would see him again. Oh yeah, now he's picked up the scent of your mom's fro-moms. He's got a hunter to the ends of the earth. You'll find him hiding behind the shower curtain in your bathroom. He's just like, I brought the Batman movie on DVD. It's like, dude, it's just a t-shirt. Get out of my house.
I'll be out in a minute.
I really need to go.
She said she'll be out in a minute.
I guess we'll have to see what happens in the next story. Is it the same Neckbeard? Is it different? I don't know. Well, let's go check it out. Tales from the Neckbeard Zone, Smiley Part 2. Oh, I guess these all are about the same guy. Okay, I'm in for it. The cast is just Smiley and OP. I was 16. Send help! I'm a child! I need an adult? I am an adult.
I'm in danger.
Common human responses to someone shutting down their advances are content, anger, and bashfulness. I don't know if it's really contentedness. It's more like indifference. I used to be a bashful guy, and then I realized that, yeah, why have shame? That ain't never helped nobody. Speaking of, have you joined up on my Patreon quite yet? Supported on YouTube channel memberships? Maybe you should. I'd appreciate it so very much. Send me a super thanks if you want. One of your dollars worth like, 10, 20, 40 of mine, so I would be quite grateful. And with that shameless plug out of the way, we will say Smiley didn't have any of these responses because he wasn't human. He was a fully evolved and sentient colony of fungus. Fungi? He was from the same family and class as onychomycosis. He just sticks in there and irritates. And that's when you pick up some tough-acting tenactin. Boom!
Tough-actin tenactin. Clinically proven tenactin cures even tough cases of athlete's foot fungus.
It's not a sponsor. It was about 2 months after the sub incident. I had just gotten my full license, which meant I was an eternal errand boy. And also that you can commit vehicular homicide if you wanted. Just if you wanted. How bad do you want to get rid of him? But it wasn't my gas, and truly, I was just happy to drive anywhere. Yeah, don't worry, the novelty will wear off in a couple of years. I entered the store and began to walk around reading my list. I was standing in the Spanish food section, trying to remember what white corn flour my dad buys, when a hand clapped over my left shoulder, gripping and pulling me into a hug. Ew, no, what? You gotta stop that cold. Tell him straight. Like, I ate at your fucking shop one time. I don't know you. You want to build a relationship on the basis of me wearing a Batman t-shirt? You must be so lonely. Please go out and find friends your own age. Or take a toaster bath. I don't actually care. Smiley exclaims, "Hey, son!" Son?
You're not my dad!
Good to see you, Batman! With an ear-piercing chuckle. Oh my god, I hate you so much. I don't understand how you could let this... I guess it's 16. Just a little bit intimidated. But why a hug? Do you make a habit of randomly hugging strange little boys that you met once, that came into your shop once, and then you just go and hug them? There's something really fucking sus going on here. Smiley has the grip strength of a 101-year-old woman with arthritis, so I just walked forward. OP, dude, get your hands off me. Good response. Smiley, I'm so sorry. I thought we were buds. Whatever gave you that idea? You're a creep. Listen, son, I'm very sorry. Your mom's a beautiful single woman, and I'm sure she gets hit on a lot. I'm just another dude in a wide sea of dudes.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me.
You're not descended from the ocean, friend. A mud puddle, at best. More than likely, you crawled out of an oil slick. And there ain't any other dudes in the oil slick, but nobody wants the oil slick guy. You know? Do you understand what I'm saying? OP just says, my mom is married.
You stay away from my mom shit, Brett.
Smiley, oh, well, whatever. Either way, I'm sorry if I creeped her out. Why can't you just have the awkward experience and leave it at that? Why do you have to make a second awkward experience? You're trying to make it better and blah, 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 but no. All you're doing is doubling the amount of pain in the world. If you're really sorry, then don't creep on the next woman that walks into your store, all right? Or not even his store, the store he works at. Whatever. I continued on with my list, and Smiley followed. Tell him to go away. Have you and your mom seen the new Batman movie? I said, my mom hates anything nerdy, dude. Smiley. So you were wearing an animated series Batman shirt. Like a grandpa who has heard why for the 100th time, I just decided to appease this overgrown toddler. Yeah, man, I'm 16, so that is the Batman that I grew up with. Undeterred, Smiley says, okay, have you seen the new movie though? OP, no man, I just got my license, so I really haven't been anywhere yet. You could punctuate any of these sentences with leave me alone at the end, and it would be fine. We have nothing to talk about. I'm trying to get my shit and leave. Do you understand? He doesn't. He goes through his entire life without any sense of purpose, except getting somebody to touch his putrid pecker. Smiley, do you go to cons? Another line of conversation. OP says, yeah, I love cons. I go to a city about an hour away with 4 different cons. And Smiley said, yeah, I always dress up like Hamill's Joker. OP, oh, really? I wouldn't think that you'd be a Joker fan, I said, sarcastically. Yeah, he's cut from the same cloth for sure. This sent Smiley into a tirade where he gave a presentation on the history of his Joker cosplays, complete with visual aids on his phone. Visual super aids, that is. Pick it up now, ReddX brand super aids. Catch the fun.
He's got AIDS!
He must have shown me 30 different photos of Joker. Every single last Joker that he had ever been. Don't you have any friends to show this to? I don't care. I'm a child in a grocery store. Leave me alone. This is so ludicrous. And OP just tried to be the polite kid, smiling and nodding. As a 16-year-old, I was a snot-nosed little punk. I was as sarcastic and vitriolic back then as I am now, so he probably wouldn't have gotten away with it. But back when I was like, 13, 14, still sort of finding myself, I could see how I would have got sucked in. Anyway, at this point, the shopping trip turned into an episode of Supermarket Sweep. As I was racing down the aisles of a green grocery store chain, as fast as a skinny and athletic 16-year-old could hustle, I recognized that Smiley, sporting his stubby dad bod Viking look, managed to keep up with me. Yeah, you can only go so fast in the grocery store. Hustling doesn't mean full-out sprinting. But maybe it should be a full-out sprint. Abandon the cart, run to your car, come back in 30 minutes when he's hopefully gone. He's probably just scooping out babes at the grocery store. Oh man, I love MILFs. When I get off my sandwich making job, I'm gonna go try and be the worst stepdad ever to some kid who doesn't deserve it. Anyway, he was chasing me with his phone out at this point, matching me step for step. I would pay all the money to see that security footage. I told him, well, I'm about done and I'm gonna head for the checkout. Cool, I'll walk with you. Are you not buying it? He really is just kicking it here. So yeah, good, walk with me, because I'd been feeling so lonely today, Smiley. Yeah, I'm gonna check out and go home too. Does he even have a basket? He was off work. I had been a service industry drone. There's no reason that I would stay at my store for a second more than I was paid for. Oh, the sub shop's inside the grocery store. I would just stop going to that place. One bad experience is all it takes for me to never return, regardless of how inconvenient that might be. This man had been following me around for over 45 minutes. A shopping trip that usually takes me 15, by the way. Yeah, you didn't do very well with the supermarket sweep. You gotta hustle harder, son. Put 110%, leave it all out on the field.
Fill your trolley as high as you can because shopping has never been so much fun.
Or, just tell him to go away. I understand it's hard at 16, but if you're listening to this video and you're young like that, it's okay. Tell him to leave. If he makes an ass of himself in a grocery store, like, security's right there. He enters the line and is continuing to talk at me. I tuned him out, and my mind went to my happy place. It was totally a memory of a ReddX video. I mean, why dream of a ReddX video? You're in one. Don't worry about timelines and dates. As Smiley's peanut voice bounced off of my ears, I remember that wild boars will crap in the mouths of predators in order to escape. Dude, MVP plays. I berated myself for not being able to crap on demand. And pig shit is so nasty, dude. That's a great defense mechanism. I'm not saying I'm gonna start carrying around a bag of feces when pocket sand is so much more convenient.
Pocket sand.
But it does present some possibilities. It was finally my turn at the checkout. I went to say, good afternoon, and Smiley interrupted, saying, hey, Angela, this guy's my buddy. Let him have the employee discount. We're family. Ugh, he winked at me. Before I could say no, she glared at him, rolled her eyes, and in a disgusted tone said, sure, whatever. Angela knows more than she's saying about Smiley. She's like, you're in here every week trying to groom some kid, and it's costing us 30% of our income. They probably don't care. Why would an employee care how much the store's making? Just ring them up and get them the hell out of here. For all of our sakes. Smiley started to tell her my entire life story, even though he knew nothing about me. She just stood there, looking at me for help, and looked utterly dead inside. Smiley, we should all go to the con together. You guys are both Batman fans. Maybe it would make a good date. Cashier, loud snort. Listen, dude, it's not you, to me. And then she says to Smiley, I'm gay. Why are you trying to set me up with a customer? That is really weird, dude. See, he doesn't actually believe that she's gay, so he's trying to find a relatively attractive young man, probably closer in age to her, to see if she'll take the bait. Little does he know, gasp, she's actually probably just gay. And also Smiley's, super unattractive and weird. But even despite that, yeah, she gay. I checked out and ran out of there. See, there's that full-blown sprint I was talking about. I was parked halfway down the parking lot, and I just went full steam down the hill. I wrapped the groceries in my arms and threw the bags into the trunk. I jumped into the driver's seat. I don't think I put the cart back. I'm sorry. Oh my God, OP, how could you? Then again, extenuating circumstances. He's creating cart wrangling jobs at the very least. OP says, I booked it out of there, and standing at the door was Smiley, waving and laughing at me. I got home and I forgot the milk. Oh, crap. Smiley just ruins everything, doesn't he? I would have remembered the milk if you weren't trying to give me the entire history, the chronology of your Joker cosplays that nobody cares about. I bet they're total shit, too. He goes to the con, nobody compliments him because he puts as much effort into the cosplay as he does into his actual life. Just zero, nothing doing. No passion, he's just going through the fucking motions. What a pathetic human being. God, I hate him! Anyway, we'll move on into part number 3 and see how it goes. If OP finally says go screw, fingers crossed. Tales from the Neckbeard Zone, Smiley Part 3, Call of the Clown Ulu. Is that like Cthulhu, but he's got a red nose that you can honk? That's pretty funny, actually, until he sprays you in the face with that flower and it's actually battery acid inside. No, it wouldn't be battery acid. It would be that, like, psychotropic gas that Scarecrow uses in the Batman, except it never wears off. So you're just terrified of monsters inside your own brain for the rest of your life. But, you know, it's just a prank, bro. Since he is a clown. I'm unpacking this way too much. Okay, for this part, let's change it up and move forward in time a few years. Damn, you avoided him for that long? You just stopped going to that grocery store, huh? That's what I told you. I was at my first professional job and was talking to a new hire. She said she had just gotten her degree and quit the green store. I said, which one? Oh, that one over in Smiley Town. And I said, do you know the weird redheaded guy with the, you know, Smiley? That guy was so creepy. Yeah, everybody knows that. Is he the reason you quit? Did he do something to you? I'm just looking for an excuse to catch him outside the grocery store with a ReddX Industries brand lead pipe. Indeed, it's time for just desserts. She then told me one of the weirdest stories I have ever heard. All right, well, lay it on me. As it turned out, Smiley was 17 at the time of my first two stories. He just looked 45. Yeah, having a big old beard will do that to you, I guess. She started working at the green store at 15 with her sister, who was 17. These girls were both tall, skinny blondes with blue eyes. She comes in for her first shift and is introduced to her trainer, Smiley McGee. What do you want to bet he jumped at the volunteer for that job? He probably paid somebody off so he could be the trainer. The trainer. Oh, I'll train her, all right. Great, I just cringed myself out. Smiley spoke in a Joker voice for the entire shift. She said at first it was really funny, so she laughed and told him, dude, that's sick. Little hearts formed in Smiley's eyes as he tripled down on his act. Yeah, he doesn't know how to do anything else. You affirm the one thing that he's capable of doing, and yeah, he's gonna ride that horse till it drops dead. She soon regretted it, of course, as this ginger beast cackled at her for 4 hours straight. As she was clocking out, Smiley said, hey, I throw this awesome Halloween party every year. Would you want to come? She's going to show up. There's nobody else there. She said, I don't know if I can make it. We just moved into town and we're still cleaning out boxes. Smiley said, dude, we have our own lettuce set up and it is dank. You mean like literal lettuce or giggle bush? Is that what you're talking about? You could just say the word. It's marijuana. Cannabis sativa. She hung out with weirder people at weirder places for free salad. So she said, okay, why not, dude? Bro, you're 15. What the fuck are you doing? At a certain point, like, just buy it for yourself. Think you can enjoy it on your free time, you know? Don't have to hang out with weirdos. It's a lot more convenient. 3 days pass, and then it was Halloween night. They jumped into her sister's car and arrived at the party at 5 p.m. This is going to get really weird, isn't it? The house was in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by trees and about 400 yards off the road. Nope. I gotta get the hell out of here.
Oh, hell no!
There was a tiny dirt path that opened to a clearing where the house sat on about 5 acres. How many bodies do you think are buried out there? The house was a single level with a wraparound porch made out of roughly cut timber. In its day, it would have been stunning, but the house had since fallen into disrepair. Yeah, look who's in charge of it. She learned later that this used to be Smiley's grandfather's house. After his grandparents died, Smiley's father allowed him to move in due to his behavior issues. In the year and a half that Smiley and his friends had lived there, the house had fallen into disrepair. I'm not shocked about the house falling into disrepair. I'm shocked that he has friends. They're probably just there for a free place to live, right? OP points out that yes, this is the issue with timber houses. They are stunning, but they require a lot of work. Now, if he just bought the house and let it fall apart, I wouldn't be as sad. But the fact that his grandfather handed down what is essentially his life's work, and the ungrateful grandchild takes it for granted and just lets it fall to shit, like, yeah, tragic, dude. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve anything except a swift kick in the ass. So the girls approached the house, weaving through the trash and debris that littered the yard. Her sister said, "We should go." She said, "Have you ever seen a plug live in a nice house?" Her sister shrugged her shoulders. They knocked on the door and Smiley answered in his Mark Hamill voice as he was dressed up as the Hamill Joker. Yep, super cool substitute for a personality there. She said, it didn't even look like a costume. It looked like he wore it every day. "Welcome, welcome, ladies." They entered the lair, and every inch of the walls was covered with Joker memorabilia. Probably mostly Funko Pops. Ooh, disgusting! Ew, I like them! You make me sick. But then again, it's just like Joaquin Phoenix said when he was dressed up as the clown.
Get what you fucking deserve!
She said that the memorabilia that stuck with her the most was the picture of Mark Hamill with poorly drawn clown makeup on his face, hanging in a bronze frame. That's fucking weird. She said it reminded her of the photos that old Catholic women have in their homes. I mean, which is appropriate because apparently Hamill Joker is this guy's Jesus. Smiley led them through the living room to the backyard. Smiley's 5 roommates, all dressed up as different versions of the Joker, were sitting around a bonfire. Is nobody else extremely skeeved out by all of this? I think I want to go home now. Smoking a bowl is not worth all of this. A roommate passed them the salad and they inhaled. The roommate sitting opposite of them looked up and said, "Hey, you didn't dress up?" She explained, "No, we just moved here, and with only 3 days' notice, we didn't have the time to put something together." The roommate gave a weird look to Smiley, and Smiley said, "It's okay, dude. They haven't joined us yet." The Legion of Jokers? Is that what you guys are doing back here? I think I'm good. They were just looking for a couple of Harley Quinns to join the crew. So she asked, join what exactly? And Smiley explained that they were Neo-Norse worshippers. For who was the Joker but an Americanized version of Loki? Holy shit. I understand you're so desperate for meaning in your life, but I don't think that this is the way. If it brings you meaning, that's great, but from where I'm sitting, I'm just seeing a group of very desperate individuals with no identity to call their own. He said, "I'm the Grand Shaman, as I wear the Hamill Joker, the greatest of them all." And he went on to tell them how they use Halloween to recruit others into the fold. This is a really weird mix of like religion and cartoons, and I think I want to go home now.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
She said to him, "Well, that's sort of cool, but I don't want to worship Joker, lol." Smiley then got very serious and said, "I thought you and your sister would be our first Harleys." Called it. I love what I call it. "As we need to bring women to serve the goddess of chaos." She said, "Dude, you're cool and all. I just don't believe in it." Yeah, and also, he's really not that cool. What are you talking about? That's all it takes to earn your cool stripes? Blaze OP out one time? I guess when you're 15 and it's harder to come by, whatever. Smiley said, fine, just stay for the sermon." My coworker said, a normal person would have left, but how often do you get to see a DC-themed pagan ritual put on by people who have no clue about Norse mythology? Yeah, that's a fair point. Curiosity did kill the cat, but damned if I'm not at least slightly curious. She added, also, there were at least 4 virgins there to sacrifice, and none of them were us. The picture of Mark Hamill was brought out and held over the head of Smiley. Sorry, the Grand Shaman. The roommate cackled as he danced around the bonfire, waving his arms. And then, do they blow up a hospital? How does this thing end?
All right, what else did I have to do today? Ah, yes, overdose in my apartment. I better get home.
2 of the roommates disappeared into the house and came out with drums. They beat them with absolutely no rhythm. The Grand Shaman, now completely out of breath, huffed and puffed. You realize they don't do this all the time. They're putting on a show for you. If they fluff up their feathers enough and do all the right dance moves, then probably these girls are going to change their mind about us. No, you're just making it weirder, as usual. Smiley then began his sermon. It was about chaos, anarchy, and disorder. At that point, she lost it and began laughing at the utter insanity that was unfolding in front of her. Smiley peered at her and said, "All laughter will be held till the end, please. We end in a great cackle." My coworker got a hold of herself and listened, still snickering quietly. The roommates stopped beating their drums and disappeared into the house. They returned with a boombox, and Smiley announced, "Let us dance in the moonlight," as Linkin Park began to play. I've given up! It's basically his theme song. The 5 jokers all did a tribal dance around the bonfire. What the hell? This is like some sort of lucid dream. This can't actually happen in real life, can it? The 5 jokers suddenly stopped and turned to see their 2 prospects rolling on the ground laughing. Smiley became beet red and yelled, "How dare you not respect our beliefs on this most sacred night?" I don't know, bro. Have some beliefs worth respecting first. Coworker said that the lettuce was just really strong and she couldn't stop herself. Smiley let out a blood-curdling scream. Ree! That immediately sobered the girls. Smiley, fighting back tears, proclaimed, "As Grand Shaman, you're forever banished from these grounds. I offered you chaos, and you mocked it." They were escorted out by the roommates, never to return. Well, good riddance to bad rubbish, that's what I got to say. This story definitely started out creepy, but who could have predicted the twists and turns that this would take? 5 Norse jokers dancing around a bonfire. I don't know if you could make something like that up. These men are clearly all out of their minds, and yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be very long before something very bad happens in that house. Although, hopefully most people would have the common sense to be like, wow, this is a pretty creepy place away from everybody else. Maybe we shouldn't be going all the way back here just to blaze it. Seems like one of the stupidest moves you could possibly make. But I don't know. We all make our choices. We all live our lives, right? At least until we end up locked inside of a shipping crate until Smiley comes out in his Joker costume to cut us up and put us into buckets. Then you don't get to live your life no more. So be wise, keep your head on a swivel. And I'm quite confident that Smiley will find his just desserts soon enough. I do hope you enjoyed the episode, friends. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all them things. Check out the links in the description. Patreon, YouTube memberships, very important in keeping the channel afloat. But even if you can't afford to do it, I just appreciate you watching this far. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye. Go ahead and cut them open. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.